So Gretchen, what initiated your interest in the royal family?
Oh, I was 9 years old when Elizabeth was coronated and actually crowned. Her father had died the year before, and it takes about a year for them to get everything organized to have the formal coronation. And that was in 1953, and you didn't have instant relay back then. They actually had to film it and fly it across the Atlantic Ocean, take the film to the studios in New York, and then broadcast it on TV. And I went to a friend's house, because not many people had TVs back then, and watched all the pomp and pageantry. I just thought it was magical, wonderful fun. And she was young. She was only 25 years old.
Would you consider Queen Elizabeth to be your most particular interest in the royal family, or is there a different member
She was the one who really got me started on it. But I've been fascinated by all the different family members. She had a sister, Princess Margaret, who was never going to be queen, and she became sort of the naughty sister. I love following Charles, who I don't think should ever be king. And I obviously loved watching Kate and William's wedding this summer. Even stayed up late, got up late, early for Charles and Diana's wedding years and years and years ago. Her value to England is for tourism and bringing people into the country. Obviously with William and Kate's wedding, it brought in millions and millions and millions of dollars. I think Elizabeth, when she goes to visit countries, brings a lot of pomp and circumstance with her. And England, if you remember way back, was really a colonial country, and they had strongholds all over the world. India, Australia, obviously still part of the Commonwealth. So I think that's why she's just at the moment, she's a beloved grandmother that they love to have come and visit.
What do you consider to be her greatest accomplishment so far?
I think the stability of the monarchy is probably her greatest contribution, especially through all of the horrible personal turmoil that the royal family has gone through with the divorce of Charles and Diana. Through all of that, she has maintained a balance and a stability that others probably would have crumbled under. Oh boy, I think her death, the thing that fascinates me, in about 2.5 years, she will become the longest reigning monarch in English history. They're gearing up right now to celebrate her 60th anniversary of ascending the throne, and that's going to be, I think, in June. There will be great celebrations and so on. She's the oldest ruling monarch in English history. She's 85 now. And she will surpass Queen Victoria. So when she dies, and my hunch is that may not be for another 10 or 15 years. Her mother lived to 102. It will be huge. Diana was a popular celebrity, and the circumstance of her death, I think, were just stunning. But I think when the Queen dies, it will be a whole new world for England. And I think William is the one who will be able to carry on. And the question is whether his father's going to end up King of England, which I don't think is a good idea. And I don't think she'll abdicate and step aside so that William can take over. But I think ultimately of all those, it would be her death that would be the most stunning.
Do you plan on attending, going over to England for any events?
We're hoping to go when she becomes the longest ruling monarch in 2015. We have wonderful English friends who have no interest in the monarchy whatsoever and think I'm ridiculous to be fascinated by them. But we'd love to go visit and see some of that pomp and circumstance. It'd be sort of fun.
Do you know why your friends don't have any interest in the monarchy? Is it just because they live there?
I think that's part of it.
Sort of it.
And it's very superficial. It'd be sort of like friends of ours coming and being fascinated by Hollywood celebrities. To them, it's because the taxpayers of England support the monarchy. She's a very wealthy woman. She's one of the wealthiest women in the world. But she also gets a lot of tax money to support the monarchy, and there are a lot of people in England that say the money could be better spent.
Yeah, because I know that
help other people.
I know that in the 90s she did help write some policy where they did take tax on the royal family's wealth as well.
And they started paying a lot more of their own bills. But with all the castles they have and everything, the upkeep and expense of that is unbelievable. And the employees that they have just to keep Buckingham Palace going is phenomenally expensive. So yeah, I think that's why our friends are probably saying, let's spend our money somewhere else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you ever had a chance to meet the Queen,
oh my, I'd probably faint.
Right on the spot.
I'd have to curtsy, and you don't speak to her unless she speaks to you first. But I'd love to see her in person, close up. I don't think that'll ever happen. And with TV now, I mean, to be able to go to the William and Kate wedding and see everything really up close. We had better seats on TV than the people in Westminster Abbey. So it'd be fun.